What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best endgame longbow and dagger build in Throne and Liberty. So in this guide I will show you a fully maxed setup with the best possible tier 1 gear, traits, masteries, skill rotations and everything else. And the best part about this is that for every single build choice I will explain my reasons, also how and where to get this powerful gear. And just overall you will be able to see what a fully maxed tier 1 character will look like, and what at the endgame you can achieve as well. So if you want to use the best build in the game, then let's get right into it. So let's move over to the build, and for the choice of weapons we are going to be going with the longbow and the dagger. In this setup the longbow provides high single target DPS at range, while the dagger provides amazing passives. This build's pros are that you get really good self-sustain and high single target DPS, but you are quite reliant on cooldown speed, so you will want to make your build around reducing as much waiting time as possible. But if you can follow instructions and build it right, then you will become unstoppable. So let's take a look at our setup, and first of all we have our skills. So for defensive skill we use the Black Blade, while for active skills we get the Zephyr's Knock, Ensnaring Arrow, Decisive Sniping, Strafing, Nature's Blessing, Deadly Marker, Inject Venom, Shadow Strike, Ankle Strike, Brutal Incision, Blitz and Camouflage Cloak. As you can see from the gameplay, I don't have all of these same skill icons on my bar. It is because the skill icons will change depending on our specialization setup. So Inject Venom will turn into the Lightning Infusion, Shadow Strike will turn into the Shadow Escape, and Brutal Incision will turn into the Thundercloud's Bombing. And then for passive skills we get the Rapid Fire Stance, Steady Aim, Sniper's Sense, Assassin's Instincts, Destructive Fang, Wrathful Edge, Roxy's Overhead and the Murderous Energy. As for skill upgrade priority, for active skills we want to mainly focus on Decisive Sniping, Strafing, Brutal Incision, Zephyr's Knock and the Nature's Blessing. While for passive skills we focus on the Wrathful Edge, Assassin's Instincts, Sniper's Sense, Rapid Fire Stance and the Murderous Energy. And then for the rest of your skills they're not as important, so just upgrade them as you progress through the game. And remember to always upgrade all of your skills to blue first, before moving on to the purple. Next we have skill specialization, and for the Zephyr's Knock we want to select the damage increase and cooldown. Then for decisive sniping get almost all of them, so charging time, damage increase, second charging time and mobility. Then for Nature's Blessing get the Whirlpool attribute. Then for Inject Venom select the Lightning Infusion and cooldown reduction. Then for Ankle Strike get the offhand weapon activation. Then for Blitz and Camouflage Cloak don't get anything. Then for Ensnaring Arrow get the hit chance. Then for Strafing select the Gale and consecutive use. Then for Deadly Marker don't get anything. Then for Shadow Strike get the Shadow Escape and skill distance increased. And finally for the Brutal Incision get the Thundercloud's Bombing. Next we have the Weapon Mastery, and this is how it should look like for the longbow. So take a look at the middle and get everything from the Harmonious Mind until the Gale Overhead, and then now go to the bottom and select the entire row. And then again, this is how it should look like for the dagger. So pretty much the same thing, just this time right from the start get the entire middle first. And then afterwards go to the bottom row and select everything from the melee critical hit until the deep grudge. Next, let's take a look at our gear, and if you're looking for a full green or blue gear setup, then I recommend for you to watch my previous build videos. So first off, we are using the Carnix's Nether Bow with traits like the hit chance, heavy attack chance and critical hit chance. All gear should be at its max level, and you can get this item from the Death Abyss. Next we have the Licorious Wicked Thorns with hit chance, heavy attack chance and critical hit chance. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Shadow Harvester Mask with traits like the Mana Regen, Ranged Evasion and Cooldown Speed. As we are using 2 pieces of the Dead set, so you will get plus 14% critical damage, and you can get it from the field boss called Adentus. Next we have Supreme Devotion with Mana Regen, Skill Damage Resistance and Debuff Duration. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Plate of the Field General with max health, melee evasion and buff duration. You can get it from the Death Abyss. Next we have the Shadow Harvester Grips with max mana, mana regen and ranged evasion. You can get it from the Temple of Slaughter. Next we have the Breeches of the Executioner with magic evasion, ranged evasion and debuff duration. You can get it by defeating the Abyssal Spectre. Next we have the boots of the Infernal Herald with mana regen, melee evasion and ranged evasion. You can get it by defeating the Reptilian Fighter. Next up we have the clasp of the Conqueror with buff duration, skill damage boost and max health. You can only get it from armor chests. Next we have the braces of the Primal King with max health, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Amber Dimensional Band with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can only get it from purple armor chests. Next we have the Sapphire Dimensional Band with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can also get it from only purple armor chests. And finally we have the Belt of the Bloodlust with max health, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it by defeating Aridus. Last but not least, if at this current moment you only have blue gear, then don't worry, because that gear doesn't really matter, and you will soon enough start changing it for the purple pieces. The setup that I showed is the best current gear that anyone can farm, but no matter what gear you choose, this build will still work fine. But the setup is just an example of what the best of the best items will look like. Next up we have the stats, and depending on your gear, you should adjust them accordingly. The goal for your endgame build is to reach 50 strength, 50 dexterity, 30 wisdom and 40 perception. And overall all of these milestones will improve our build and just give us extremely high damage. Next up, let's look at our gear upgrades. This game doesn't have a very typical gear progression, so by this I mean that you have to upgrade pretty much anything you get. So we will go from grey to green to blue and then finally to purple. No matter at which stage of progression you're watching this video, just keep upgrading your equipment to their max level. And then when you get better gear, just transfer the experience from the old one to the new one. When you reach level 50, just farm accessible gear by doing open world dungeons. Also, you want to extract traits from the gear for Lucent. On top of that, you'll need to turn important purple gear, acquired from the co-op dungeons, into the lithographs, and then sell those on the auction house. Last but not least, for your traits, just prioritize the ones that give you the highest damage. And don't forget that you can acquire new traits by using the trait Unlock Stone, which you can get from the common trait Unlock Stone bundle. And for our build, we have two best choices. The first one is the Lady Knight Camarcia. This guardian lowers your cooldowns while also giving you a damage shield, equal to 50% of your maximum mana. This is a strong defensive guardian whenever you're struggling to survive. Or then the other option is the Shade Remnant Steno. This guardian launches projectiles every second that can crit and heavy attack. Since our build is great at range, so this guy works perfectly for our playstyle. And now finally we have come to the gameplay part. And as this build is very versatile, so I will give you two rotations. So first off, at the beginning of your fight, I recommend to start by activating the Nature's Blessing. Then use the Ensnaring Arrow. Then activate Camouflage Cloak. Then use the Decisive Sniping. Then activate Blitz. And now we finish it off with one more Decisive Sniping. The main objective of this rotation is to first of all use the Nature's Blessing to give you a Whirlpool buff to speed up your cast time. So then we do damage with the Ensnaring Arrow. Then we activate the Camouflage Cloak, which gives us guaranteed crit for our next skill. So then again we use the Decisive Sniping for high crit damage. Then we can use Blitz, so it resets the cooldown of our sniping skill, so then we can use it for the second time. And this allows us to use it twice in a row and do massive amounts of damage. This combo is mainly meant for bosses, but if you're fighting weaker enemies, then just remove the buffing skills, so the Nature's Blessing and the Camouflage Cloak, and this will give you a quick and easy burst damage. Then next we have our second long DPS rotation for maximum damage, and this is called the Thunderclouds combo. So at the beginning of your fight we use the Lightning Infusion, then Deadly Marker, then we activate Strafing twice, then now Zephyr's Knock, then Strafing for the third time, then the Shadow Escape, then now the Lightning Infusion for the second time, then the Ankle Strike, then Thunderclouds Bombing, then the Shadow Escape for the second time, and then we finish it off with the Zephyr's Knock. And then from here we just rinse and repeat. So most of these skills will line up around the same cooldown if you use the correct specializations. So if you follow the skill order, then you should be able to do this 24/7. Our initial Strafing and Zephyr's Knock skills will give us a max Thundercloud stacks. So then we can use the Shadow Escape to move behind the enemy, and then do big damage with the Thunderclouds Bombing and with the rest of our skills. And then now, when we are done, we just use the Shadow Escape for the second time to teleport us back to safety. And that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. And if you're interested in more content, then check out my channel, and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, peace.